I think
Good
we are here.
evening.
Good evening, everybody. This is the Three Marketeers Show. Welcome back in. This is Jason. We have Manfred. We have Andrew. We have Chun Yen again. So today we want to talk about business, right? I mean, just like what we are discussing at the backstage. To be very frank, running a business ain't easy. A lot of people kind of like over glorify that. Wow, you run a business. You kind of like what? People who run business are usually the one who actually the most fucked up ones. So in many ways, in most of the time, I'm not saying that everybody's not doing well, but there are so many high and lows. There are so many challenges, and there are so many different things that you don't even expect to come your way. That's why today we want to dedicate this very special episode to talk about business. So if you run a business, if you definitely, like Chiwai already say yes means that, you've been through the high and low thing, right? So yeah, Chiwai.
Yep.
I know, right? So especially running an agency, I think we can relate, so much more similarity when it comes to the challenges that we are facing. So yeah, as you all know, Trinidad and I has partnered up to start, we just launched a business coaching pillar, which is a new branch to our businesses. But today we want to tap on these guys, to be very frank, right? Like just now when we were discussing at the backstage, I was just telling Chunyan because he has a coach definitely in this business, and now we are coming out as a coach. And I was telling him that I never been coached before. I never really had a coach. But then I realized after our discussion, every now and then we do have coach. Like for example, last year when I was rebooting my business, when I was really like, down in the deeper shit where the lockdown really crushed my business to the ground, right? I was looking for ways to turn things around, and I looked for Andrew. Andrew was my coach for a few months. I really have to thank him for that, because without him, I wouldn't be able to really navigate my way to through all these frameworks and all these kind of thing. So I would say, running business is really important to have two things. Okay, of course we need to have friends to bounce ideas with, like Andrew was saying, sometimes when you face some shit, you can't really talk to your so-called your closest people. Yeah, especially you can't really talk to your team members. Now, if you don't have anybody to talk to, then what to do. That's the reason why it's very important that we need to have friends like this. At least we can talk to each other. And on top of that, I think we need to really kind of like, in a way, we need to understand that we need a coach. In a way, because a lot of times when we are stuck in any scenario or any situation, it is not our fault. It's just at that point of time we couldn't figure out the way. It doesn't mean that there is no way. But a lot of times when you talk to somebody, when somebody that has a different perspective coming in and add a little bit, then it would actually change. I say this because, you see, the reason why I say this is because last year, because of Andrew and because of all this hard work we put together, I discovered the 6-day challenge framework, which generated us multiple 6-figure revenue up to now, which is awesome. But I was thinking, is that the best framework? And you know what? The other day I was just talking to Chun Yen after that bloody discussion, and I realized, hey, we actually can have a way to generate even at least double the revenue with 60% lesser energy, time, and effort invested in. So a lot of times this is the thing. So you're either doing well, okay, and then you need to figure out how to break through the roof or the ceiling that you're hitting right now, or you're kind of like haven't figured out a way to do this. I think that's the time that you need to look into something. But enough ranting. I'm so sorry. I never actually do this much. Kind of like really kind of like the thing that it's a really important thing. Like you are saying, you can't talk to your wife, especially your wife, right, my friend?
No way, they won't understand. I think especially the wife. I think the analogy is this. I think I heard somewhere, so it's definitely not credited to me. When you climb Mount Everest, you don't do it alone. Neither do you go with your friends. First thing first, you find a Sherpa. Okay, somebody who's done that, been through it, know the pitfalls and all those things. And that's why the business coach comes in. Now, number two is it is somebody who has the necessary experience or the domain expertise, for example, to basically point to you the blind spot. Because we are all of us are busy fighting wars within our business. And when you're fighting the war, you don't see what's happening around you. So a coach will be able to come in and say, hey, there's this opportunity there, are you aware of this? Or hey, you're doing this, you're going the wrong path. I think there's a shorter path to it. So for me personally, I see that value because you won't be able to be able to, light out the path on your own. So that's the value of a coaching, either it's business or whatever form.
Yeah, totally agree.
But coaching doesn't have to be like 100% kind of like strategical, whatever coaching. But to be very frank, coaching can come from anybody else. So that would actually bring up, but before that, TY was saying, off topic a bit, everybody seems to be wearing black except Manfred. So Manfred, I want you to put it center here, Ken. I think...
Nobody want to wear yellow.
By the way, guys, this is really the Three Marketers show. If you're joining us right now, right, I'm Jason, your host. We have Manfred, we have Andrew as our co-host, and we have Chun Yen here. Now, I want to quickly, let Chun Yen introduce himself. We have been yamming our way, and we forgot our guest here. Please, Chun Yen, I'm so sorry. Please, can you get it? I think people who have been with us for a while, you're not a stranger to the show. This is already your second time, but maybe you let us know a little bit again for those who are new to the show. Who are you? What do you do?
Hi everyone. I just want to introduce myself. Thanks to Jason, Andrew, and Manfred for inviting me again. This is my second time in this show. Really interesting one. Of course, if I were to introduce myself in simple words, what makes me who I am is what I do. I help ladies to lose weight and get in shape. But one thing that I believe I'm proud to say and proud to share with everybody is that I'm not a regular trainer. I'm not a normal trainer because I have actually escaped the circle of trading time with money. A very simple question that I'd like to throw up to all the respected hosts and co-hosts here today is, let's say all of you have a very specific craft that you are expert in. And 5 years, 8 years, 10 years down the road, would you still want to do the same thing? Would you still want to be paid for writing emails for people? Would you still want to be helping people to do Facebook ads? Or would you still want to do like advertising for people, like whatever? Yes or no?
Of course not.
Yeah,
definitely not.
We have passion in what we do.
Definitely.
Agree? We see the value in what we do, but we don't really want to do it 10 years down the road. Agree?
That's very true. That's very true.
Now, and I saw this about two to 3 years ago. I knew that I love personal training. I do a really good job training people. Most of the clients that came to me, I changed their lives. I'm proud to say that I changed their lives. If I can ring a phone and call them and they will speak to you and tell you how I changed their lives. I saved them from a ton of health problems. I believe in what I do, and I know I can change lives. I do a really good job and I get paid well for doing that. But I knew that I didn't want to do this 5, 7, 8 years down the road because I want to do something more fulfilling. I believe that I deserve to, I have better power in doing more impactful things. That's why I go the extra mile. I spend the extra investment into seeking ways that I can turn my expertise into different streams of income, and definitely running my business or running a business, my kind of business that trades your hour with my craft. You will never escape that. Means I understood that if I continue to run my business like a self-employed or a business owner that is functioning from a low level, I will get a lot of money, but I may not escape that. So I figure out that I had to do more. So I took an extra step, and 3 months before, about 3 months ago, during the MC and the lockdown, I actually told myself it's time. And I have been 3 years in my personal training industry, training people, training ladies, and I will work long hours in the gym, training back to back. I would spend 8 to 12 hours a day in the gym nonstop.
Wow.
I was paying my dues. I knew I was paying my dues. But after that, at that point, 3 months ago, it was a huge leap, huge step. But I took it and I stopped training anybody. And I told myself that I want to run this as a business. I don't want to run this as like, So that's where I am right now. That's who I am. And yeah.
I really want to punch on this a little bit. As you can see up to now, with that simple, maybe like a 3 to 5 minutes self introduction, you can really see that this guy is really one of the rare gems. I mean, Chunyan came into my universe because of the 6-day challenge. And then he went through all the way and all that. We didn't get much chances to talk. But at one point, we were actually discussing about starting something because for the past many years, I've been doing coaching here and there in a way. So we were thinking that we can actually build something together. And this guy, he actually, because I was telling him, the first time we touched base, we were saying that, I think it's in April. I was saying, okay, April is fully jam-packed. I cannot think anymore. Let's start talking about this on May. And this guy buzzed me on the 1st of May. It's like, and he said, I'm ready. Are you? I was like, okay, of course I am ready. So first thing first, his initiative is crazy. And second thing is, and then after that, we started to work together. We actually launched a business together. But the thing here is that after talking to him, right, what I like about this guy is he is a real business person, if you look at this. Although he's an expert, right? But the way he actually look at things, the way he actually look at businesses and how you should actually protect your energy and how do you plan, he doesn't talk about 1 to 2 years planning. He talked about, as he mentioned, 8 years, 10 years. Where do you want to be in 8 years, 10 years time? That's a very important question that, to be very frank, we are so afraid to ask even ourselves. Because to a lot of people, right, you might be seeing yourself doing exact same thing 8 years, 10 years down the road because you don't know what to do. You don't know what else to do.
Right. Question. Yeah. Just a quick question to ask all the respected hosts here, right? Have you thought about working with a coach in any aspect? Have you thought about working with a coach in the past?
I never found a coach that can convince me to work with him or her. Yeah. Okay. That's my case.
Okay. Andrew?
The coaches are the so-called from far, the guys I wanted to work with were so bloody expensive. You're talking about 100K a year kind of nonsense. But locally, I'm sure there are good people out there. It's just that I probably won't reach out. But yes, I think having somebody is important to talk to guide. Yes.
Right. Manfred?
No, not really. I took some courses, but coaching-wise, not really on my mind. Not really on my mind. It was maybe too tired out. Yeah.
Jason, Junior actually what? Plan for 8 years. Fuck. I planned for 8 hours only. That's as well. I go 8 hours. What the hell am I going to do in 8 hours time?
I maximum have 8 months to a year. I was
because better.
A little bit better because see, a lot of times, right, we are so busy doing our stuff, right, because we need to so much firefighting we know in business. This is here's the thing. But to be very frank, so business coaching. So I think, Chunyan, after the questions and all that, what is your take? So I mean, can you actually share with us why is business coaching important?
Right. I think just now Andrew gave a very close to my illustration, like blind spots, but I want to give this a very simple illustration. Like, think about a very powerful boxer that you can picture. Like, give me a name. Mike Tyson. Everybody know Mike Tyson?
Yep.
Do you think he had a coach?
Of course.
Yes.
Do you punch think, like that?
Right. Now, what is the importance of what kind of role? What is the role of Mike Tyson coach in Mike Tyson's boxing career? How important do you think it is?
Very able to spot his blind spot and actually strategize. This one sometimes you yourself, when you're in it, you can't really see it.
Right. And the question would be, if Mike Tyson never had a mentor, do you think he would be the person that he is in the history?
Fighting on the
Maybe
street
not.
scholar.
Yeah, fighting on the street
So-
maybe can't get him where he is, where he was.
Yeah.
So
For
would
sure.
you agree that a mentor or a coach is either a mentor or a coach either makes him or breaks him?
That's a very interesting statement.
Yes.
I would
No. When Mike Tyson was found, he was a 17-year-old child that was always visiting the jail. If you're going to read his story. But this man saw him. This man saw him and kept him in his home. And while he was 15, 16, 17, he started training him. And
You mean the
building
guy
him.
who is 16 younger than him?
No,
No,
the man found Tyson when
Okay.
he was
15.
teenager.
All right.
Was a problematic child, like always locked up in jail, fighting in the streets and in the gangsterism, and took him in at home. And would you agree that at that time, Mike Tyson in his 14, 15, he was a hidden gem? He was a hidden gem. He was a treasure. But if he didn't go through that training, he wasn't founded by this coach, this mentor who's a visionary, who saw what kind of person that he would become. And he didn't go through that training, he wouldn't be the person we know him as today.
Mm-hmm.
And later in his career, right, when his mentor died, when he was at the peak of his career, he actually took on a wrong mentor and a wrong manager and took his career to a wrong path and destroyed him.
Yep.
So a coach either makes a person, even though he has all the potential, he was meant to be a champion, but like ponder on what is the importance of that mentor and that coach on his life. Now I say this to say this, guys. All of us here are experts, including people who are listening to this. All right, we are. Everybody is good at something.
Definitely. 100%.
No, and the question is, if you are listening to this, you're probably into business.
Yeah.
You believe that business is something that worth you spending time to work on?
Of course.
Yeah, of course,
It's our bread and
absolutely.
butter. That's what
No.
makes us, right?
Yeah. Do you agree that anything that is worth our time working on, worth having somebody to help us to improve on?
Absolutely.
That's agreeable. Yeah, that's agreeable.
Yep. The best players, the best golfers, the best basketball players. Michael Jordan had a coach.
Definitely.
The reason why Michael Jordan was so great was because besides having a team coach in his team, as the let's say in his Chicago Bulls as his team, he also had a personal coach, a mentor that he hires personally and privately to work on him as an individual. And that coach will follow him into any court, any game, will take flights, and he will do all the groundwork and homework because he knew that he was the asset of the whole basketball team, and he knew that he was the game maker, right? That's why he had to pay the extra investment, do the extra work on top of everybody else. And that was what made him the player that he was.
So you're saying that if you are serious about what you're doing and you are stuck at breaking through, it is actually a safe thing to say that you probably need somebody.
Exactly. But two things to add on.
Yeah.
If you're stuck, going for an option. Number two, if you're thriving, but you want to go higher, you should definitely consider investing in a coach.
I think that's a very interesting.
Yeah. Before I pass to Jason, right? One more thing for you all to ponder on. Would you agree that a lot of people didn't go into business coaching probably because they feel that it's very expensive? Like,
in a way, yeah. I mean, definitely money is one of the issue. But second thing is probably we don't see the need. We always believe that I can do this, kind of the thing. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm a
I
dictionary
mean,
of failure.
experience on its own is already expensive.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
Right. And the question would be, if you're running a business, what do you think is the biggest asset in that the whole thing? What
Of
do you
course,
think is
it's
the biggest asset?
the business owner, the person who
It's
runs
you.
it.
It's you.
That's right.
Ourselves. Most of the times, people spend most of their effort, all of their energy on the external things. Is it this ad? Is it this funnel? Is it this campaign? Is it this product? But they never spend time on
Inside.
Guilty. That's bloody me. So much time. I think that's a very interesting one, because to be very frank, right? Never had a structured coaching any program in anyone. But of course, like I said, I met a lot of good people who actually coached me at one thing at a time, over the years. But I would say, I would agree with Chun Yan, because the reason why he can see this in such a clear way is, of course, he went through a coaching, but at the same time, right, I would say athletes, because he's an athlete. This guy is actually in fitness industry. Athlete would definitely, accept or kind of like realize the importance of what do we call a coach.
Yep.
In a more what do we call a clearer way, because for most business people, somehow or rather, I would say this could be ego, this could be whatnot, right? We always believe that we're going to be like the next Mark Zuckerberg and all that. We're going to do this on our own. But how do you know Mark doesn't have a coach? I mean, he probably have the most expensive coach in the world, but you were like, he did it on his own because you think he did it on his own, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting illustration of business coaching. Thank you, Chun Yan.
Yeah.
Thank you. Guys, remember. Yeah, sorry.
Another thing to add on, guys. Another thing for us, interesting one for us to ponder on. If you ever get a chance to, like, I never go into any like personal development or business courses. I think Andrew would have a better experience. If you listen to business coaches or if you listen to people in the personal development world, people like at a high level like Tony Robbins and all that, you realize that most of the times they spend majority of their speaking, their teachings, and their talking, emphasizing on personal, your health, and your well-being, your personal well-being. There's a reason for that. Because you see, the biggest asset is the person who owns the business. Most of the visions that you have for the business come from the person, the asset. Most of the business decisions that you make is from the person that will either make or break the business.
That's very
most
true.
of the customers that you attract, it's not the business, it's the person that's running it. Why do people like iPhone, Apple? Because of Steve Jobs. Right? Like Microsoft. I think the person that Bill Gates plays a very important role in building that trust. We can say that without Bill Gates, Microsoft is nothing.
That's safely, yeah.
So
that's why.
So my point is, Jason.
Yeah, go on. That's right.
So the point is that we don't see that the real asset is ourselves, and our well-being, how happy we are, how our life, how well managed is our life is gonna ultimately affect how we perform in our business.
That's very true.
Yep.
That's very true. Yeah. I mean, wow, seriously. That's why this is really something that before I really started working with, Chun Yan, right? I never thought of all these things, to be very frank, because all the while I was banging on all the walls and all this on my own. Of course, like I said, good people coming in helping me, but most of the time it's all me. And I didn't know that, look, it's just a kind of like a paradigm shift that, to be very frank, right? It's really not an act that says that you're not good. In fact, it's an act. It's kind of like an action that signifies that you believe the potential of you, and you really want to unleash the full potential of yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want to,
important. Yeah.
you want that. That's why you need help, And that's a very important mindset shift that I had in the past few weeks. And I'm already seeing, to be very frank, you guys will see Travel Academy changing tremendously in months to come. I have to give credit to this guy, So and like I say, I'm, and you know how old is this dude? That's the thing.
Okay.
He's so young.
Skip.
Yeah.
Don't make me depressed on a Wednesday night, okay? I'm running out.
Okay, we skip. Yeah, we talk about that later. Now, okay,
But
I think
just to add,
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, Jason. Just to
no
add,
worries.
when you seek out the help of a coach, and again, this is something I learned belatedly, But the realization is when you seek out the help of a coach or coaches, it is not a sign of your weakness.
Yeah.
In fact, it is because of your desire. The important is when you seek out a coach, it's because of your desire that you're able to do, or you're meant for greater things, and you needed somebody to point you to that direction. That's all. So don't ever think that just because I coach because I'm useless, you're not useless. Useless people will say that I don't need coach, I'm good enough. But real achievers will say, what's the next mountain to climb? Who's the next person or next best person that can guide me to the next mountain, the higher one that I want to climb? So I hope that clear.
Totally agree. Totally
100%.
agree. I think that's the next thing that we want to talk about, right? That's why a lot of people, I would say, to be very frank, when I was very young, I actually started building business since my uni time, and fail all the way, right? But I was so passionate about building business, and I always believe that I want to build things, but and then I actually very happily and aggressively go out and influence my friends that, hey, you all do this, I think it's a good idea, bloody do it, good idea, bloody do it. But then I realized after so many rounds, right, a lot of my friends left me because they started a business, they failed, they couldn't accept it, then they say that, okay, no, I don't want to talk to this guy anymore. He was actually the guy who actually got me into that. But I think that also boils down to the mindset. So I think Chun Yen has a very interesting mindset. You see, put it this way. Dude, seriously, I've never met somebody with this kind of mindset. Although I met a lot of very interesting people, but he is at this young age and he has this laser focused mindset. I think that's really worth mentioning. So Chun Yen, how mindset affects business?
Right. A simple one, right? Interesting one that that caught my attention. Right, guys. I think you guys will benefit a lot from this. What I throw. Most of the times, we see a lot of people running business.
Yeah.
When you ask them, like, what do you do? Oh, I run a business. I'm into business. I do business. But if we ask them, actually, what's the meaning of business?
There.
Nobody can answer that.
I never thought of this. What the hell?
Right? What is business?
All right, what is that?
If you look into the Mandarin character of business, right, is 生意 or 商业.
生意, yeah.
Right. And the word 生, right, 商, right, it means it has life.
All right.
It has life. It's alive. It's something that's alive. And for that to be live, there must be people.
That's true.
It means it has to be something that deals with people. All right. And the second word, yi, or in Mandarin is yi, it means meaning. It must carry a meaning. It must carry a meaning. And that meaning means, to carry meaning means it has to be more than just the money. Do you understand?
I do. And I agree.
How many people can you picture in your head when we talk about business like this? Oh, this person cares. All he cares about is money.
Oh yeah, I mean,
right?
I can write a list.
Right, we can write a list. Now that is really not, I believe, not the way to run business. And what makes people think that business is all about money is their mindset. It's a mindset. So when they don't understand, when they're into business, but they don't understand, they didn't sit down and ponder, what is business? What am I into? What am I doing? Then the next thing you know is that they will build something on a wrong foundation, and they will take on a path where it's going to be full of trials and tribulations, problems, full of problems, and they will be unhappy because they started from a wrong point, they took on a wrong ship, and they went to a wrong destination.
That's a very interesting way to put it.
They end up into a direction where I see the money. I'm in a position where I'm full of authority. I have the name, but I'm not happy. And if I will ask all of you, right, have you seen people who has reached a certain height in business, but because of depression, they died. They killed themselves. Have you asked yourself why?
Because they didn't find a meaning of why do they do that.
Yeah.
Because whatever you're describing just now, right, it was really me in 26 to 28. 100%. That's me.
So today, right, although we are spending most of our time into business, but never forget what is the basis of business and what got us into business in the first place. We are not born to work and suffer and just to get a pay bill. We're born to enjoy. Right?
That's a very,
Right? Because when you don't enjoy, you can't help people to enjoy. If you're not happy, how are you going to make people happy? Let's say if we don't have success in business, how are we going to coach somebody to become successful? That's a simple illustration, right?
It's very true.
And one question I want to throw to everybody that's watching this and all of you here, right? Today, whatever you're doing, whatever you own, whatever achievement you have, take it away from you. Who are you? Who are you if today there's whatever that you build is not there? Who are you? If you can't answer that, then we got some work to do. Got some mindset work to do. Right? Most of the times, why do people kill themselves? Because they couldn't take the pressure in business. Business went down. They went from millions to zero, and they died. Right? Because they attached themselves into the business, and they allow the material things of business to becloud what they see. So from this perspective, and I ask back to you, how important is mindset in running a business?
Wow. That's a nice way to answer a question, yeah?
You notice that there's not many people commenting. I think they are now busy trying to reach out for their hard liquor and say, oh, God, this food is so good.
You didn't expect something like this, right?
Either Chunyan is going to inspire a lot of people tonight.
Or it's going to make people drunk.
It's going to have a lot of guests watching this and then they can't sleep at night because they think, what the fuck is good in life?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I would totally agree because at the early stage of my career, trying to build all these things and all that, right? I was not having a real meaning of doing this. Actually, I found my so-called calling only when I started training, and I realized that I'm not just the person that I want to only run ads for people. I want to help people. I think that actually makes me able to lift myself up. Yeah, definitely happier. That's the first thing. I'm happier because when I do that, I can feel I'm kind of like I found a way, and I was really answering the question. I was telling myself at that point of time, after a few rounds of training, I realized that, and I can safely say that, I can say that I want to die on the stage. I want to teach until the last day of my life. And that was the case that happened to me. So in a way, if you are not having that kind of drive in whatever you're doing, I will agree to Chun Yet. You probably need to do a bit of a mindset tweaking in terms of helping you to find out to that.
Yep.
Awesome.
In regards to that, like everybody's quiet. Sorry if I took this very. Okay. All right. Like Jason was asking about the importance of mindset towards business. Everybody know, mindset is important. If a person have a wrong mindset, he will become a wrong person. He will take on a wrong direction in life. But nobody has ever sat down to check on what is a mindset approach that you have been using to run your business for the past 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years ago, right? And whether we like it or not, we have to accept the fact that where we are today in our lives, whether we like it or we don't like it, it's an end result of the decisions we make.
Definitely 100% agree.
Whether it's the things we know, we don't know, things that accidentally happen because we don't know, right? And these are all our decisions. And where did all these decisions come from? It came from our minds. How we think. How do you reason? When something happens before your eyes, what do you understand from the thing? What do you see? Like there's the same COVID-19 that happened to 4 of us here. But I believe we get 4 different messages. We interpret it differently. And it's going to move us to do 4 different actions that are totally different.
Yep.
What's the difference there? It's our mindset.
True.
Chunyan, Coach Chunyan. What's the difference? Or are they the same mindset and mental toughness? Yes, that's what. Mental toughness or resilience, are they the same?
Come again?
Mental
Mindset
resilient.
And mental resilience or mental toughness.
Toughness, yeah.
Right.
Are they the same?
Right. I'll give you an example. We've got people who somebody who is chopping trees.
Okay.
Right? Mental resilience is, I need to get this tree down. I will use all my strength to chop it down. Pop, pop, right? Mindset is, when you see that tree and when you carry that axe, what is the knowledge that's installed in you, and what kind of skills do you implement to get this tree down with the least effort, with the shortest time? Mindset.
Okay.
That's a very clear
That's a
metaphor,
good
illustration.
Right?
Yeah.
Resilience is, oh, there's fire over there. The house is catching fire. I have to get this tree down. That's my job. Resilience. Holding on to the end. But if you have the wrong mindset, you use the axe wrongly, then you're going to spend all your energy trying to cut a damn tree, and it's still there.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good
Like
point.
that, right? Like that.
Good
Yeah.
point.
You see, mindset is also a very important thing that actually stops us from doing a lot of important decisions that will help our business thrive. And one of the very important, it's an equation thing, right? We've been digging very deep back into our coaching program about how do we want to really structure the whole thing. But to simply put, right, how do you, in a way, I think Chunyan, you would say whether you agree with me or not, in order for a person or a business owner to actually live a happier life, you must be able to first really do the thing that you believe that you are helping people, changing life. And then you're helping the right people, because when you do that, they appreciate you. At the same time, they actually, of course, they give you joy because you really help them see the impact and the result. At the same time, you get paid the right way.
Yeah.
Which means in most of the time, right? That's why this is really one of the next important thing when it comes to businesses. In fact, I've personally been through quite a number of businesses, and the main reason most of the time I'm not happy is because I'm not getting enough revenue. And I thought that it's the business, it's the client and all that. In fact, it is about how do you find meaning and how do you really charge the right way. So that's why I think that one of the very important element about helping businesses to grow and what we are looking at here is, of course, we will go through the mindset and all this kind of thing. But one of the very important thing we want to pinpoint is to help these experts, coaches, consultants, people with a strong, crazy craft and very good at what they are doing, to really able to start selling big ticket offer, because that's a very simple equation. I went through this myself. I totally understand. You see, like the other day, I was just talking to one of my fellow agency owner, because I can relate, right? Back then, when I was running digital agency, in fact, among we agencies, we work with each other. Most of the time, we don't compete because the market is so big, right? We do have a lot of collaborations and all that, but everybody faces the same thing. The margin is getting lower. Everybody's fighting with the price and all this kind of thing. So at that point of time, I saw this thing. I didn't want to compete. So I actually took another step. I said that it's okay. I'm not going to compete with you guys. I'm going to drill in and I'm going to start charging higher. So like I shared it during my session the other day, right? When I start focusing and when I'm start able to really pinpoint what I'm really good at, when I start charging the right thing, the right way, positioning myself the right way, I start to attract even, a lot more higher ticket clients coming in. And at the end result of my, I actually kind of stopped doing my agency business already. But, in the past few years, at least the past 5 years of my agency business, I was actually working with the biggest brands in the market, getting paid at the premium, okay, and working the least amount of hours because I'm not doing a lot of things that you are doing. So I think to answer the question is about how do you able to start commanding big ticket offers. So what is your take on this thing, Junior?
How to start? Of course, we have to start with ourselves. That's the most important thing. If we can't go through our hearts, our minds, ourselves, like if we ask yourself, do I worth this price? If you can't confidently say no, how do you think you're gonna squeeze out confidence to ask money from your client?
That's true.
It's all about attraction, right? I'm not talking some funny psychology stuff here, but it's about money attract money. That's why poor people will find it hard to mix with the rich. Right? There's a book that talks about Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I think this is an old book that most of the people, most of us, we should heard of it. Think and Grow Rich, right? One of the basis of the book that they discuss is that what separates a poor person from a rich person is just how they think. If you can think rich, you become a rich person. If you can't think rich, then you'll be poor. It's all about mindset, right? So, are you guys with me or am I?
Definitely, we're thinking so
right?
deep. I think, wow,
right.
Oh my God.
So, have you ever?
Guys, you guys are not commenting, but the number is there.
Richard commented.
Richard say something. Yeah, we will bring it up in a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So wealth, like creating wealth, is a skill that we have to learn, and it's not something that we can just try to make our way to get there. There's a certain way that the rich people behave. There's a certain way that the rich people think, right? We're not talking about, we're trying to be materialistic. No, that's not what I mean. But we are in the game of generating cash, and we must understand the money game, like the game of money. How does money run? How do people think about money? What is the mentality and the psychology of money, and what does it signify, and what will make people pay? And from there, a lot of people, what is stopping a lot of people from like selling high ticket is because the fear of charging high. And why do they afraid to charge high price? Because deep in their hearts, they don't believe that they deserve to be paid that much.
Agreed. That's insecurity.
100%.
It can be from their past experience. It can be from their culture. It can be from their environment. It can be from what they see or the mindset that has built in them. So we have to break that. We have to break that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
We have to break that. And when we break that mental barrier, we start to see that, there's actually so many people who's willing to pay a lot of money to get the job done. Because rich people don't like to waste their time.
True.
Why do rich people want to pay that much? Because they believe that, not that they like to steal money. to make people make. No, rich people knows how to take care of their money more than somebody who's an average or the poor. But why are they willing to pay that much money, and why do they always look for premium stuff? Because they like quality, and they want to save time.
Yep. And I think one thing also is, a lot of people would not, they themselves personally don't spend that kind of money on personal development on themselves. So when you ask them to charge, higher, they say, I also don't buy such, I don't spend so much money on this. Why do you think other people would spend that kind of money or whatever I have to offer? See? Yeah.
Exactly. That is why, Andrew, thank you for bringing that. That is why I what I'm taught is that, many people like the idea of success, wealth, riches, and prosperity, but not many people are willing to pay the price of admission. There is a price of admission. There's a price to pay. And if you hold back, how are you going to get there? You're going to get there with bruises and pains and a lot of unhappy frustrations.
Yep.
Bruises and pains. Because why do they charge that much? Because they give you that straight line to get to that destination you want to get to. And that's why they deserve to get paid that much. But when they ask the people to pay, they say, no, I can't pay. Then you go and bang your heads.
That's
simple
true.
as that.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's really a choice on how you want to build your thing. So, yeah, that's a very interesting illustration. But let's come back to some of the comments over here that we have here. So, we actually have, like first thing first. At one point, you was saying, Andrew is correct, right? Too busy fighting a daily war, but you forgot to work on the business itself. And then, like what we actually have learned from Chun just now, right? Your business is you. The key player of a business is you. If you're not doing something to help yourself getting better and all that, right? That's kind of the thing that you really need to start looking into, because we have so much potential. All of us here, like Chiwai, Richard, like Kelvin, whoever that is watching here, Gamers Grow and all that, you guys we are definitely good at what we do. That's why we are, right? But here's the thing: if you're not able to really start looking inwards, that's kind of the thing. I personally went through that struggle several times in my life, and it's not a fun thing to actually go through. And to be frank, there are certain people who can help. So Richard is saying hustler, everybody are, right? And Max was tagging her as his friends and all that. Thank you for that. And Chiwai say you can't even plan your dinner. Of course lah, you're not planning. It's not your job anyway. So I know. So Kevin was saying hi Kevin. I hope you're still here. You were actually in the flow. I didn't want to bring up because Chun was actually at the flow, right? So, so, right. I mean, I'll say this episode is really one of the most interesting episodes because we didn't expect to be this deep. And we didn't expect something this deep coming from a young guy like him.
I didn't plan anything.
That's the thing, right? Yeah, and Gamers Grow was saying, well said, Andrew. Yo, what's up, Gamers Grow? And they're saying hi and all that, right? And Chia is saying, what the am I doing the past 11 years? You must have done something right. That's why you're
just paying your dues. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry, you're just paying your dues. Now you're a lot more wiser. Remember, greatness comes from within.
I like that. And then we have Richard was saying, if wealth is the goal, business is the hardest way to do. Yeah, and more millionaires who are employees in there. Yeah, true. Yes. Agreed. Thanks, Richard. Thanks. Now that would like to bring us to the next question. I mean, mindset defines a lot of things. Now that's what we learned in terms of running a business. You, a person, the business owner, a person who runs it is the most important asset to your business, and you need to actually do a lot of mindset work. Now we're talking about selling big ticket is also a mindset work you need to do, and selling itself. That's why I want to bring this back. This is really one of the biggest fear to a lot of entrepreneurs out there. Business owners, entrepreneurs, I'm not so much better at selling because I have to thank to Chun. But of course, over the years, we have done so much more and it's different. But at one point of time, most of my years being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, I'm always afraid of selling. But yeah, why is that? But Julian, why is selling important? That's in your perspective.
Before we get into that, like, let's go one round with the respected hosts. Okay.
Sure.
When it comes to selling, what is the biggest frustration for you guys?
That's a very interesting question. The biggest frustration. I mean, nowadays I kind of okay with that. It's just that the biggest frustration in terms of selling. I'm cool for now though.
Is it the fear of rejection? The fear of appearing as if like sounding pushy and salesy?
I would say at this point of time, if you say, the biggest frustration is I'm not able to pinpoint the right pain of the customer at any point of time. So of course, when that happened, right, and of course the frustration of closing is also definitely one of them, because you fear the failure, the rejection. Yeah.
All right, Andrew.
Up to the point where I started to do my own stuff, I've been selling for the last 30 plus years. From print, design, not an issue. Rejection, no problem. Hounding customers, no problem. Bullying them to the point of buying, no problem. I think the roadblock that I faced recently was, when I was selling my own stuff, then you start to question and say, shit, is my shit good enough or not? But when I was selling other people's stuff, it was very clear, whether it's security, whether it's design, you can just show them design. Not an issue. I was so good such a point that customers refuse to see me, because the moment they see me is the point they know they have to sign something already, which is an order. So they always said, hey, don't get Andrew come like you. I talk to you first, because when I know Andrew come, I have to sign already one. So selling wasn't an issue up to now. When I'm selling my own shit, yes.
What's the biggest challenge? So Andrew, if other stuff you don't really care whether is it good or not, you still can automatically sell.
The other stuff are good. You can't sell lousy crap to people and expect to have return customers.
True.
But those are already proven. You have reports, you have data, they have proven it's branded. It's just like, would you have any issue selling a Mercedes or a BMW to a friend? You won't have any issue.
But what happened? You're selling Skoda or
correct.
Some other
but even Skoda has its own market position, and somebody has done the research. Somebody has done the messaging and all those things. And basically, all you need to do is to understand the messaging and map it to the right potential prospects. But when you're selling your own stuff, which you create, in my case, I'm not sure whether there's something that's congruent with the prospects I want. I'm not sure whether it's something that they really need. I know they need, but I don't know whether they think they really need it or not. So there was this. So when it comes to selling my own shit, yes.
Yeah. So I think that's for Andrew. Okay. Yeah. For Andrew, right. I think we leave that. You want me to explain it here, or you want us to leave it later?
I don't know. Up to you, man. You're the coach.
I just give a little bit of insight, right? Like what Andrew said was remarkable. If today we were asking him to sell Mercedes or BMW, he has no problem selling. When it comes to his own product, his own course, he finds challenge. Then really we have to boil down to the question of, like, why did you create that product, and why did you build that course, right? Probably you haven't shifted your thinking as to you're thinking that you're doing this so that you can survive or you can bring food to the table, and that will show when you are talking to the prospect, the clients,
right?
And you have to shift that and put yourself out and see what's in it for them. What's in it for them? Today, if you don't need me, yes, I'm selling you something. This is my product. It's not Mercedes. Nobody has done it in research, but why am I in front of you right now talking to you? Because I know there's a solution that you need from me that I can pretty much do a good job solving that problem for you. So instead of looking at yourself, you look at them. What's for you? Today you pay me. I get your email done. How does it feel? Waking up, having automated emails done to your 3,000, 5,000 list. How does it feel? And you get you get a chance to get a recurring fee without doing a single thing. How does it feel? So you have to realize that you're coming in to do them a service, to better their lives, to reduce their pain, to solve their frustrations, and ultimately give them a result that they will be happy. And it has nothing to do with you. That's why we say mindset about business is not about money, it's not about ourselves, it's about people, it's other people, it's not about us. But when we put the people in front of us, then money will come to us. Simple as that.
Check that out. As simple as that, but it's such a crazy mind shift.
Guys, you just witnessed how coaching is being done.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
In Singapore, there is this guy, the property Lim brothers are very famous for the YouTube ads. This Melvin Lim actually said something quite useful. He very similar in Julian's context, because they do video walkthroughs of the whole house. Then he actually provide the services for other property agents to sell. So he actually mentioned one thing I really caught my attention. He said that when you truly help people to sell their house, everything will flow.
Yeah.
But there are agents who do this kind of video. They're trying to get more business, more contacts, more leads to themselves, and somehow maybe they give additional pressure to themselves. It doesn't look very natural. So you can see the differences. So in a way, maybe I didn't put it very, very properly, but when you put your heart and soul to serve, so that because property agents is really helping people to sell, you don't deviate from that, then everything will be all in place. That's what I'm saying.
Agree. So you go ahead, Junior.
People will buy into your certainty, your clarity, and your confidence. Right? When you, that's why this is what I do. When I get on a sales call with somebody, before I get that call, I get into the call, I decide to come into that call, I want to ask myself a few questions. One of it would be, can I help this person? Does this person need me? Will I do a good job solving the problem, and would they be happy? Yes. I will go into that call full force, because I don't care whether they feel that I'm pushy, salesy, or whatever. I know that I'm helping them, and if they allow me to take their money, their lives will be better, and they will thank me later on. That's my mindset. I will never sell anybody into my program if I know that I can't help them or if I can't solve the problem. So this is like I'm being true to my heart.
Yeah.
And I come in with sincerity, with honesty, and I help them to decide what is the best decision for them. Right? When you can master this, right, you most of the time is a mental block. The price is 10,000. If you do that, they'll feel it. In their head, it's like, this guy is charging me 10,000 because he wants a commission so that he can bring food on the table or can go travel with his wife. Nobody will pay that. But if you come in and say, you have this problem right now, if you don't look for a solution, what will happen 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the road? How much loss are you making in business? How much are you leaving on the table? How will your life change if you make this decision and this problem is out of your life? How much of peace would you get? How much of time and freedom would you have in return? And that result, ask yourself, how much does it worth? These are all the questions that I ask myself in building my offer, so that I have to go through my own, and I'm very certain I have a great service, a world-class one, and I can solve problems like that, right? Then I go in and look for that people and get that money, right? And to answer the question, why is selling so important? All right, sales is a lifeblood of any business. We talk
True.
about the best product. We talk about the best funnel. We talk about the best whatever that is best service. You can't make sales. The business will drown. People caught up with systems. They get caught up with the funnels, with the technical stuffs, right? Systems don't make money. The operations, the logistics, how it's done, it's not gonna make money. And you gotta realize that, if you're waiting for your business to grow to a certain height, or it goes to the level of Mercedes and BMW before you start selling with confidence, I believe it's never going to happen, because you must accept that as a business owner, you will never have a perfect business.
Yeah.
We build it as we go. It is the vision. Is the vision that somebody will create a brand called Mercedes, that when everybody hear that name, they will have confidence. Is that vision that made them reach to where and who they are. Yeah.
Check it out, man.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, that brings us to 11. You don't feel like 11, right? You don't feel like going, right? I think we have to hold it here. Wow, check that out. So much insights, I would say, to be very frank. That's why I said running a business is not easy, but it's definitely worth doing it, because if it's on the right, if you're doing this on the right purpose or the right meaning, then definitely that everything is worth doing. But here's what a quick plug that we want to have here. Okay, Junet and I have started this Biz Talk, okay, which is, it started as a casual live that we do on the Friday nights, but now we are turning it into something more serious. And we want to talk to people who are an expert, definitely who you are, and you are a coach, you are a business owner, you are somebody who wants to build a business with, either you want to build a business that actually help people or service anything. If you are in this category, we will invite you to join this. This is really something that we will still do on a Friday night, but we'll no longer do it on the outside. We'll bring it into the Facebook group. So all you need to do is to go in here, sign up, and you'll be invited to join the Facebook group. What we're going to do here is we're going to start doing weekly training on specific topics. The first topic that we'll be doing is how to start a coaching business. Okay, so if this is something that you're dabbling, you're exploring, you're kind of like, okay, I like Coach Chun Yen, Coach Jason, Coach Andrew, and all that. And it still sounds to be something that is fun. And you believe that you have the craft and all that. Come in, let's take a look at this. So we're going to grow together. We're going to offer insights. And most importantly, it's a community that we hope to build for everybody who needs it.
Awesome.
All right, here's the link. Here's the link to come back, to join this. And I'll put this link into the comment. But Manfred, you're up. Yep. What is that?
Today we have this thing called Speed Ride. Can you see the screen? Okay.
Let me bring it up.
So basically this, so Jason will help us to put Speed Ride to both Facebook and YouTube. So it's actually some AI where I think you put in some words and they will write the essay for you. So they generate new and unique best-in-class writing from any source of text. So unique text instantly in 90 seconds. Let's take a look how it works.
GPT.
So let me play the video.
Let me blow this up. Easier for you.
Start with Wikipedia. You can copy the whole text, then paste it in. Then it will generate. Basically paraphrasing. Okay. Because sometimes I get inspired by other people's ads. I don't want to wholesale take the whole thing.
SpeedWrite can make predictions from many different kinds of text, but there are some best practices you should understand. If a paragraph is too short, or if a paragraph is too long, SpeedWrite won't be able to make a prediction for it. Each source paragraph should cover only one concept. For example, here is a paragraph that deals with two different ideas. I am splitting this paragraph to make better predictions for each half. SpeedWrite can also split paragraphs for you using the Split Paragraph button.
Interesting.
SpeedWrite works best with high-quality sources, like text from Wikipedia. Here is an example of a simple, well-written paragraph from Wikipedia, focused on only one concept. SpeedWrite
See, the text is different.
unique prediction for this.
Oh, that could be useful.
Here, on the other hand, is low-quality text. When I predict this, SpeedWrite doesn't understand what the paragraph is about, so the prediction doesn't make much sense.
Okay, so that's what
SpeedWrite.
it's all about.
That's the week's website of the week. That's a
Okay.
very interesting tool.
That's a good one, man, Manfred.
Thank you, Manfred.
Okay, that's all.
Awesome.
Thank you. I'll bring
Thank
this down.
you.
All right. I think that brings us to the end of this session. We definitely have to thank Chun Yen for his crazy deep insights about running a business. So remember, if you want to work with us, I already put the link. Just join us. This is completely free. All you come in here is we're going to do a weekly session once a week just to really share with you one specific topics. Oh yeah, by the way, another thing. We just decided to do something very interesting. We are going to start we're going to start something that we call Three Marketers and Friends. Correct, Andrew?
Yes.
So what we want to do here is we want to bring together some cool people like Chun Yen, like Balkis. At the moment, we have Wing Han, we have who else? We have teacher Jamie, we have a few other people coming in. We're gonna pack a not full day, of course. I cannot do full day. We probably will do. Okay, it's gonna be on the 11th of June. It's gonna be a one-day event. One day, I say probably it's about 4 to 5 hours kind of thing. So we will bring all these crazy experts into a session whereby we're gonna run a 4 to 5 hours thing. Everybody will take half an hour to share about something very specific. Okay, so we are curating the lineup right now, but stay tuned. Remember to follow my Facebook page and my YouTube channel and Andrew's YouTube channel and Facebook page as well, just to make sure that you are updated with all these things. But of course, if you want to stay updated, just go on and sign up for the Beast Talk so that you will be in my email list. If you are not yet in my email list, what the heck are you waiting for, right? This is where I will blast you like hell. Trust me. Like I said, last month itself, I sent 100,000 emails to my 3,000 subscribers. You gotta enjoy that, man. Come on in. So that's the thing. So you will receive all the information about these Three Marketers and Friends coming up and all that. It's gonna happen on the 11th of June, right?
Yes.
11th
It's
of June.
free.
It's free, 100% completely
100% free,
just
nothing
like
to sell.
that. Yeah, nothing to sell. We promise you we won't sell you a thing. And it's just the Three Marketers and Friends coming together just to hoping we're able to bring more value, helping other people out there who is kind of like, anyway, it's full lockdown, right? Might as well just make good use of our time to do something. All right, so wait for more information. Remember to come into my email list from anywhere that you can find so that you'll be updated by me as and when we have any new things coming up. So that's the end of the 37th episode of the Three Marketers Show. We talk about business. Thank you, Chun Yen.
Thank you.
And thank you, my friends who are watching this, and thanks to my co-hosts, Manfred and Andrew. See you next week, same time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. We go live. We talk about something, for an hour. So this is the Three Marketers Show. Signing off, Jason. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
You can sleep tonight,
Yeah, sleep well.